I was slicing vegetables when her message came in. No greeting, no hesitation, just a sentence that landed like a knife. You're no longer part of this family. My hand froze mid-air. The kitchen felt smaller. The silence felt heavier. For a second, I wondered if she'd meant to send it to someone else. But mothers don't misfire disownments. I stared at the screen, felt the familiar burn behind my eyes. Then I typed, slowly and without emotion, then return the $42,000 I sent you. The typing bubbles flickered, vanished, flickered again. Then silence. Not surprising. Money is where her courage always evaporated. Within minutes, my inbox lit up with messages from my siblings. Panic, denial, anger. But underneath every word I saw the truth. She hadn't told them I was the one funding her life. And that was the moment my sympathy finally died. Growing up, my mother had a gift. She could choose her favorite child like she was selecting jewelry. And I was never the one she picked. But I tried anyway. I tried so hard it became a reflex. When I got my first job, I sent her half my paycheck. When she complained about her roof leaking, I wired her money before she finished the sentence. When my siblings pretended they were broke, I covered their share without correcting the narrative. It became a pattern. They gave love, I gave money. I didn't complain. I didn't demand credit. Stupid loyalty is a kind of addiction. But 6 months ago, when Dad died, all the quiet fractures became visible. She hid the will. She held secret meetings. She rewrote family history in hushed tones behind closed doors. And I watched, silent, patient, pretending I couldn't hear the walls whisper. The betrayal revealed itself 2 weeks after the funeral. My brother let it slip, a casual comment, thrown like a rock through glass. Mom thinks Dad didn't want you inheriting anything. Says you were always ungrateful. Ungrateful? For $42,000? For hospital bills? For emergency repairs? For the car she told everyone she bought herself? Ungrateful. I didn't argue. Arguing is for people who still hope. I just started keeping records. Bank transfers, screenshots, messages where she begged, demanded, manipulated. I made a folder, then a backup folder, then a backup of the backup. This time, I wasn't going to be blindsided. Planning the revenge, I knew 2 things. The will was going to be contested. They were going to cut me out. I didn't need revenge to be loud. I needed it to be accurate. So I called an accountant, then a lawyer, then a financial investigator who specialized in familial misallocation, which is a polite way of saying parents who drain one child while pretending the others are saints. I showed them everything: the receipts, the transfers, the timelines, the voice notes where she cried about rent while bragging to relatives that she never asks her children for anything. The lawyer didn't even blink. She's building a fraudulent narrative, she said. If she tries to disinherit you based on fabricated claims, we can challenge it. And if the estate was supported by your money, you have standing. I nodded. My heartbeat was steady, cold, solid. Revenge isn't fire, it's calculation. Her message disowning me wasn't an insult. It was evidence. It was her admitting she was severing ties for financial manipulation. I didn't yell. I didn't defend myself. I didn't even ask why. I just sent the request for the $42,000. It was bait. She took it. Within hours, she responded with a rant so long I had to scroll 3 times. She claimed the money was gifts. She claimed she never asked. She claimed I was emotionally unstable. Perfect. Every sentence contradicted her previous lies. Screenshots taken, saved, time-stamped. My siblings piled on. I didn't block them. I let them dig the hole deeper. 2 weeks later, the lawyer called to schedule the will reading. I didn't tell my family I was coming. Let the ghosts stay ghosts. When I walked into the lawyer's office, all heads snapped toward me. My mother looked like she'd swallowed broken glass. "You weren't invited," she hissed. "Good thing attendance isn't based on your approval," I said. The lawyer cleared her throat. "We'll begin." Dad had left his assets evenly split between all children. Of course, my family argued. They insisted Dad changed his mind verbally. They claimed I was estranged. They lied so quickly it looked rehearsed. Then the lawyer folded her hands and looked at me. "Do you wish to present your documentation?" My mother's face drained of color. I set the folder on the table. Photos, receipts, transfers, her messages calling me family one day and begging for money the next. The disownment text, her contradictions. Every page was a blade. Every proof was a fracture. My siblings went silent first. Then they turned on her. "You said she never sent you anything. You said she didn't help. You said she didn't care." The room broke open like a dropped mirror. I didn't raise my voice, didn't defend myself, didn't explain. Truth doesn't need a performance. In the end, the estate was divided exactly as Dad intended. The lawyer even recommended I file a reimbursement claim for the $42,000, since the money had been used for household expenses tied to the estate. I filed it. My mother didn't speak to me as I walked out of the office. She looked at me like I was a stranger. Maybe I finally was. People say revenge is hollow. They're wrong. Revenge is clarity. Revenge is choosing yourself after years of choosing the wrong people. Revenge is the silence after the storm, when you realize your peace matters more than their approval. I didn't want to destroy my mother. I just stopped letting her destroy me. And when I stepped outside, sunlight hit my face like a verdict I finally deserved.